The film begins with theft. Harry tries to wheel his mother's television out of the apartment. Sarah screams, locking herself inside another room, begging him to stop. It's cruel, a son robbing his own mother, but symbolically it's perfect. The television isn't just furniture. For Sarah, it's her lifeline. For Harry, it's just cash for drugs. And Aronofsky drives that distance home with one of his most powerful techniques, the split screen. Harry and Sarah may be in the same space, but they're divided, each framed separately, each isolated. What should be family feels like two strangers. The split screen becomes the visual metaphor of their relationship, near yet miles apart, connected by blood, divided by obsession. From the very first scene, the film tells us addiction doesn't just break bodies, it breaks bonds. At its surface, Requiem for a Dream is about 4 people destroyed by addiction, but that's too simple. Every character here is chasing something bigger than a drug. Harry wants money, Marion wants her fashion shop, Tyrone wants success and respect, Sarah wants to fit into her red dress and shine on television. Different dreams, same hunger. And that hunger is the true addiction. Drugs are just the shortcut. The cruel paradox of the film is this. What if the very thing you believe will save you, success, love, beauty, is exactly what destroys you? That's why the film feels so suffocating. It's not just about heroin or amphetamines. It's about the culture that sells us lies of instant joy and eternal youth. The American dream in this film is not a promise, it's a trap. So let's break it down, scene by scene, from the paper rocket to the diet pills, from the club to the split screens, from the dizzying montages to the final winter collapse. And along the way, we'll uncover the hidden addiction at the heart of it all. Aronofsky divides the film into 3 acts: summer, fall, winter. Summer, everything feels possible. Colors are warm, the characters are energized, Sarah has her TV call, Harry and Mariana are in love, Tyrone is hustling. Fall, cracks form, addictions deepen, tensions rise, shadows stretch. The optimism of summer rots into anxiety. Winter, collapse. Sarah institutionalized, Harry mutilated, Tyrone imprisoned, Marion degraded. The palette turns icy, harsh, lifeless. There is no spring, no rebirth, only silence. The seasonal structure isn't just time passing, it's a visual descent into hell. And once the cycle starts, there's no way back up. So let's begin with Sarah, and then we'll move to the other characters. I'll try to unfold them in parallel so their stories echo each other along the way. Sarah's tragedy begins with a phone call, a chance to appear on TV. She wants to look good. She wants to wear her red dress again. She wants to feel alive. Doctors hand her amphetamines like candy. Economically, it's an industry built on insecurity. Culturally, it's fashion's poison. For Sarah, the pills are more than weight loss. They're hope. Hope that she'll be visible again, loved again, worth something. But the drugs eat her alive. Her body shakes, her mind unravels. The line between reality and hallucination dissolves. Sarah isn't addicted to pills. She's addicted to recognition, and that's what makes her fall so brutal.
Let's come to this scene. Harry and Marion are on a rooftop, standing side by side, folding fragile paper rockets. They laugh, they kiss, they dream about the future. It's one of the only moments of pure lightness in the film. But the rocket is fragile. It won't fly far. And that's the point. Their hopes, opening a shop, getting rich, building a life, are just as fragile. This is what theorist Lauren Berlant called cruel optimism, when the thing you desire most is the thing that prevents you from living a good life. The paper rocket is not just a toy. It's a prophecy, and the higher it flies, the harder it crashes. Tyrone's story is about more than drugs. Yes, he's hooked. Yes, he's hustling. But he's also trapped in a racist system that marks him before he even speaks. When he's arrested, officers hurl racist slurs at him. In prison, he's forced into labor, stripped of dignity, treated as disposable. One of his most haunting moments comes when he stares into a mirrored door, remembering his childhood promise to his mother, "One day I'll make you proud." That's his dream. But, like Freud's compulsion to repeat, it's a loop he can't escape. The mirror is a portal to hope. The prison is a reminder that hope was stolen long ago. Tyrant's tragedy is double: the addiction of drugs and the addiction of a dream made impossible by racism.
Sarah's decline is the most devastating arc. At first, it's innocent: a dress, a diet, a dream of TV. But as the pills take over, her mind collapses. She hallucinates herself adored on stage. She imagines glory. But the reality is stark: a frail woman, restrained in a hospital, electroshocked into submission. And the medical system treats her not as a patient, but as a problem to be contained. Sarah loses not just her health, but her dignity. Her story proves the film's central theme: addiction isn't just chemical, it's cultural, and culture is merciless. On the surface, Harry and Marion are in love. They dream together, they hold each other in bed. But even here, Aronofsky reminds us, intimacy is an illusion. Again, the split screen cuts them apart. They're lying together, touching, whispering, but visually separated. It's one of the most heartbreaking images in the film, because it shows that even when they're closest, addiction keeps them alone. Their relationship isn't built on connection, it's built on dependency. Harry needs Marion to validate him. Marion needs Harry to make her feel beautiful. They cling to each other, but it's not love, it's survival. The split screen captures this perfectly. They reach for each other, but the frame insists there's a wall between them. And this is the heart of the film. The American dream: work hard, get rich, be beautiful, be happy. But as Erich Fromm argued, modern society defines us not by who we are, but by what we own. We live to have, not to be. That's why Harry, Marion, Tyrone, and Sarah fall. Because when you chase the dream of having, you lose the ability to be. One of the most devastating sequences in the entire film happens in just 62 seconds. Marion walks out of Arnold's room. The camera clings to her body, capturing every trace of her shame and despair. Behind her, Arnold shuts the door with an exaggerated slam, as if sealing her fate. She steps into the elevator. Two well-dressed men stand beside her. Marion presses the button. One of them presses another. The elevator moves. Her mouth fills with nausea. She stares desperately at the floor numbers, praying for release. One of the men glances at her with a smile that isn't a smile, an unspoken leer, his eyes crawling over her, feeding on her humiliation. When the doors open, Marion rushes out. Thunder cracks, lightning flashes, and there, on the street, she vomits, her body purging what her soul cannot bear. Then, the cut. She enters Harry's apartment. No words. He sits on one end of the couch, she on the other. Between them, a perfect line of wall divides the frame. Aronofsky doesn't need split screen anymore. The architecture itself separates them. And with the music rising, the sequence becomes unbearable. This isn't just cinema, it's cruelty made visible. Even after 25 years, it burns into the skin, leaving you shaken, raw, and speechless. Addiction in this film takes many forms. Harry and Tyrone crave money. Marion craves love and validation. Sarah craves visibility. And then there's the infamous club scene. Marion, desperate for a fix, subjects herself to public humiliation. A crowd cheers, feeds on her, while she suffers in silence. This is addiction stripped bare. Not intimacy, but spectacle. Not love, but commodity. Here, Marion ceases to be a person. She becomes entertainment. The dream of being a creator, gone. She has become the consumed. It's the darkest mirror of her relationship with Harry, from fragile paper rockets on the rooftop to this stage of degradation. Aronofsky's editing is as addictive as the drugs it portrays. Close-ups of pupils dilating, syringes plunging, pills rattling, a lighter sparks, a heartbeat races.
At first, it's exhilarating. We feel the rush, the rhythm, the thrill, but then it repeats again and again. Freud described this as the compulsion to repeat, the strange human urge to reenact the same act, hoping for relief but finding only obsession. That's exactly how these montages work. The more they repeat, the less satisfying they feel, until the rhythm itself becomes unbearable. The montage isn't just editing, it's a trap. And we, the audience, get caught in it.
By winter, every dream has collapsed. Each curls into a fetal position, alone. And yet, in the edit, they are together. Aronofsky uses parallel montage to cut between their fates. Sarah's convulsions, Harry's surgery, Tyrone's punishment, Marian's humiliation, until their suffering becomes one unified rhythm. That rhythm is driven by Clint Mansell's score, performed by the Kronos Quartet. The strings don't soothe, they attack. It feels as if the bow of the violin is dragging across the very veins of the film itself, sawing into the flesh of every character, every illusion. The repetition of the melody mirrors the repetition of addiction, each cycle harsher, each crescendo more unbearable. The montage and the music feed each other, tightening like a noose. This isn't just editing, it's anatomy. It's the bloodstream of the film, pulsing with despair until the Requiem consumes everyone at once. This is the scream at the heart of the story. You thought the dream would save you, but the montage, the music, the very rhythm of cinema itself reveals it was the poison all along. Requiem for a Dream ends in silence. But maybe the most terrifying thing is not that the characters fall, it's that we still chase the same dream. We still diet, hustle, crave fame, scroll screens, believe the next purchase, the next click, the next fix will make us whole. The film leaves us with one brutal truth. When consumption replaces love, we become the consumed. So the final question is, are we watching these characters destroy themselves? Or are we just watching our own reflection?